welcome back to Sports Discussion. This is another World Championship of Darts video, following up from the first one, and what a start to the Worlds we've had. Some absolutely amazing games, some not so good, but yeah, mostly really good games here at the World so far, with some absolute massive upsets. I was a wee bit off in some places, but spot on with a couple of upsets in the other. And yeah, really looking forward to when they come back on the 27th, and we'll preview some of them games in just a wee second. But I just want to go through some of the major stories so far throughout the tournament. The first one that immediately springs to mind is Luke Humphries getting beat by Paul Lim 3-2. Don't get me wrong, Paul Lim is an absolute legend, an absolute hero of the game. But a young Luke Humphries, I had high hopes for him getting through there. So yeah, I'm still a bit speechless about it, to be honest. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So very disappointing, because he's had a couple of good tournaments, Luke Humphries. So I was expecting a kind of progression in that front. So yeah, I'm just looking back here this now. I mean, there's been this out with the game. I mean, you've got things like Peter Wright's walk on as the Grinch with the dyed eyebrows and beard. That was fantastic. With the crowd as well, that was amazing to see after a really tough year. And yeah, just thinking of the other upsets there. I mean, almost an upset in the Lisa Ashton v Adam Hunt game. Adam Hunt, who has been very impressive against Lisa Ashton and in his second round game, winning as underdog there, very impressive. I believe it was against Jamie Hughes. That was pretty good. Ryan Murray, the Scot, carrying the Scottish flag there. Not many folk had heard about him. Michael Van Gerwen using the word, saying he's very underrated and underestimated. He won his first round game and pushed Van Gerwen. He played very well. Very impressed right by him. Bearing in mind I hadn't seen a lot of him before. Yeah, I mean, I said about Ryan Searle, I expected him to do pretty well, and he has done so far. I expected Dirk van Dijvenbode to get through his first round game, which he did by the skin of his teeth, and then beat Rob Cross, which he has by, again, the skin of his teeth. But that's a sign of a good player if you can get through kind of tough situations like that. And shout out to, I believe it's Dan Green in the comments section, who shouted out Danny Baggish, the American. I had high hopes for Damon Hitt to go far in the tournament with his route, and Danny Baggish, fair play to Dan Green in the comments. Sorry if I got your name wrong there, but I'll put a screenshot on the video now. And yeah, he was outstanding. I was very impressed. I hadn't put a face to his name until I was actually watching him. If I knew if that's who it was, because I hadn't seen him often apart from the Worlds, I knew he'd be a bit of danger, but I still would have thought, hey, I would have had enough to beat him. So very impressive again, and he was outstanding again in his second round game against Adrian Lewis. So fair play to him, and he's still in the tournament. He's still got high hopes, and yeah, I wish him the best. He's been very good so far. And then you've got the likes of Ian White getting beat by Kim Hybrooks. Going into the tournament, you wouldn't have thought that would have happened. Kind of Ian White was coming in good form, and Hybrooks not so much. But Hybrooks, as he says, has never practiced as hard, and it's really paying off. He's been very, very impressive, and he's looking very dangerous for anyone who draws him. I was a bit disappointed with Ryan Joyce as well. Yeah, he got through his first round game, but he was pretty disappointed against Ratajski, who did play pretty well, to be fair, but even still, I thought he would have given him a tougher game than that. And yeah, that kind of catches us up. I mean, as I say, Dirk van Dijvenbode getting past Rob Cross, and Vandenberg beating Paul Lim. So yeah, very, very good games. And but I mean, the last night though, because I'm filming this the day after the Wednesday 23rd round of games, Nathan Aspinall, Scott Waits, phenomenal performance by Scott Waits. Again, basically a mirror of the game they had about a month ago. Waits outscored Aspinall, and he just couldn't hit his winning doubles, and Aspinall punched him, which he had and done again. But Michael Smith, what on earth has happened there? Jason Lowe, wow. I mean, yeah. Never really seen him. I've seen his face before, but I don't never recall his throw or seeing him actually play. That was unbelievable. I mean, Smith. I mean, I went on in the last video about Dirk van Dijvenbode's attitude. Michael Smith's is, I've never seen it as bad as that. He literally willed his opponent on with his attitude and his body language and his shouting. His attitude was appalling, and he did deserve to go out for his performance and attitude. Jason Lowe was cool as you like, no pressure on him, nobody expected him to win, and he won 3-1. Unbelievable. Another shout out to Mensur Suljovic. Kind of up and down performances throughout the year, but outstanding performance against a tough opponent, Matthew Edgar, yesterday as well. So yeah, I mean, a lot of good games so far. We're going to look at some of the kind of third round games now, and see what we're saying to them. So I mean, we'll start off with the top half of the draw. And we've got Michael Van Gerwen versus Ricky Evans. I expect Michael Van Gerwen to get through that. Ricky Evans was behind and came from behind and won. There was moments of brilliance, but he's been far too inconsistent. And Michael Van Gerwen has actually been playing very well, so I expect a comfortable win there for Van Gerwen, to be honest with you. Johnny Clayton and Joe Cullen. That's a really tough one. I'm going to lean towards Joe, based on the fact he's full-time. Johnny Clayton still has a kind of bit of part-time work on the side. I think he's like a joiner or something along the lines. He makes a lot of mistakes, little errors, and if he just practiced full-time, I think he would just go up a level, and he's a very good player. I just think he needs the full-time practice. So I'm going to lean towards a close game, but I think Joe Cullen, if he turns up, will take it. Chisnell Noppert, I think that's a stonewall Chisnell win. He can be very up and down, Chisnell, but Danny Noppert has been all over the place this year, and his second round game even, his first game, but second round, he was all over the place. He managed to get through either way, but Chisnell, I think, will win that comfortably. You've got Dimitri Vandenberg. Jermaine Watermina played well in his last game, but I mean, Vandenberg is a huge threat, and Michael Van Gerwen, if he beats Vandenberg, you'd have to say there's a good chance Michael Van Gerwen will go on and win, because that'll be his toughest opponent going through, to be honest. Dimitri Vandenberg, the 9th seed. So yeah, Vandenberg, despite Jermaine Watermina playing well recently, Vandenberg for a win there. Jason Lowe versus Devin Peterson. Well, if you'd asked me this before last night, I would say stonewall Devin Peterson won. But Jason Lowe was as steady and as cool as you like. Peterson having his doubles issues at the moment. It's really tough. After what I've seen last night, it's tough to say Devin Peterson, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and choose him there. But I think Jason Lowe will give him a really tough time, and he probably will punish a few mistakes from Pearson, like on missed doubles if he does it again. So yeah, it's tough, but I'm going to lean towards Devin there. Anderson Zulovic. Anderson is, he literally said in his interview that he's not worried about who's playing his opponent. It's more about himself he's worried about, because he doesn't know what Gary Anderson's going to turn up nowadays. So I'm definitely going Zulovic on that one. I believe Zulovic had about 7 or 8 180s and I think it was a 1-4-4 finish or something in the 140s. In his last game, he was phenomenal. So yeah, I'm Zulovic there. But don't get me wrong, Anderson, if he turns up, can give him a tough game, but I'm going to go Zulovic there. Van Dijvenbode versus Adam Hunt. Adam Hunt has surprised me. He was a bit all over the place in the last major. He did progress quite well through it, but as impressive as he's been, I've got to back Dirk Van Dijvenbode. I picked him out from day one in round one to get through that and beat Rob Cross. I can't see anything other than Dirk Van Dijvenbode, but again, his attitude's going to come into it, and he has to just keep the head and play his own game, and he should get through that. Now, to the most difficult one for me out to pick. Glenn Durrant versus Danny Baggish. Again, I believe it's Dan Green in the comments picking him out from day one. Glenn Durrant's been in poor form. He got through fairly comfortably in his first game in the tournament. It's tough. It's honestly a really tough game to call with Glenn Durrant's form. I honestly don't know if I can pick one. I'm going to go based on Glenn Durrant's form and the kind of passion of Danny Baggish and that I think he wants it more for me. So I'm going to lean 51% to 49% towards Danny Baggish there. But I honestly could go either way, that one. We're down to the bottom half now. So we've got Peter Wright versus Gabriel Clemens, and I've been seeing Glenn Durrant's Instagram. He's been playing Gabriel Clemens quite a lot recently in the England v Germany kind of practice, kind of warm up for the tournament kind of series. And Gabriel's been winning them all fairly comfortably. With solid averages, he's posted them. So he's going to give Peter Wright a tough game, but I mean, I can't see past Peter Wright if he turns up. I just think Gabriel Clemens isn't quite ready. Don't get me wrong, on his day he could challenge anyone, but I just think the big stage, the big tournaments, I don't know if he's mentally ready yet. So we'll see. I mean, I could be wrong, but because I mean, Peter Wright might not turn up, but I can't see him not turning up. He's going to want to defend his crown, and he's going to win that one for me. Ratajski v Whitlock. This will be a very good game. Whitlock was brilliant in his last game. I'm going to go Whitlock again, although I'm a big fan of Ratajski, how steady he is and just the cool head of his. He's had a bit of trouble with doubles coming into the tournament, but he didn't seem too bad in the last round with them. He was pretty good against Ryan Joyce. I'm still going to go Whitlock on that one. I just think the scoring power will kind of run the consistency. But yeah, again, that's another one, kind of like a Glenn Durrant v Danny Baggish, that it could go either way, but I'm going to go Whitlock there. Wade versus Bunton. I'm going to go Wade. I mean, he's one of Mardell's picks to get to the World Championship finals this year, so he's obviously seen a lot backstage saying that James Wade's playing really well, and Stephen Bunton was very mixed, very slow start in his first game of the tournament, just the other day there, so very tough. I'm going to go Wade by a fairly comfortable win there. But yeah, Stephen Bunton's a weird player. I mean, he says he's playing really well, and he did play well after losing the first set, but you can't give this man a head start, James Wade, so I'm going to go Wade there. Then you've got the battle of the two unseeded players in Huybrechts and Searle. This is going to be arguably one of the games of the round. Huybrechts has been phenomenal. Searle's been phenomenal. Oh, it is really tough to pick. Both heavy scorers. Been pretty clinical with the high scores, checkouts even. I'm going to go because I really like Searle's game. I do. Nothing against Huybrechts' game. I like him as well, but there's something about Ryan Searle. He's had good tournament World Championships whenever he's been here, so I'm going to go Searle to nick that one. It's going to be really close though, and a very high scoring game. I think there's going to be lots of 180s in that one. Gerben Price, probably one of the easiest picks for me. Yes, he's not playing his greatest, and he was lucky against Jamie Lewis, his fellow Welshman, but Brendan Dolan, can't see him posing much of a threat, to be honest. No disrespect, but I mean, he struggled in his first game there, Brendan Dolan, where if it was any other stage, I think it would have been a comfortable win, but he made it look difficult. So I'm going to go Price there quite comfortably, even though he's not playing his greatest from what we've seen in the last month in his first game there against Jamie Lewis. De Souza v King, that is going to be another belter. Maybe not kind of 180 machines. I mean, more De Souza, more than anything out of the two for the 180s, but and De Souza was disappointing. He got through it, but he was very disappointing in his first game. King just getting to the Players' Championship final the other day. He's on form. He's going to give De Souza a really tough time, but it's a tough one. Just with King being in good form. I'm going to go De Souza, but I'm not going to be shocked at all if King nicks that one. But yeah, I'm going to go with De Souza there on that one. Aspinall versus Van der Voort. Aspinall, he done incredibly well to come back there from 2-0 down against Scott Waits. He's scoring. He was very, very up and down. He was very lucky that Waits missed doubles there. And Vincent van der Voort didn't play his greatest either, so that's really up for grabs for either. And I'm a big fan of Nathan Aspinall. He's one of my favourite players in the PDC. So I'm gonna have to go him. I think he's young, he's hungrier, and I just think he's playing, even though he's not at his best, I think he's playing that slightly bit better than Vincent van der Voort at the moment. He's that little bit more clinical in the doubles, so I'm going to go Naismith Aspinall there. But I mean, it could be a Aspinall and Vincent van der Voort to hit more 180s there, because Aiton Aspinall's 180s, like kind of maximum score, and hasn't been the greatest. So yeah, Nathan Aspinall there, and then the final game is Daryl Gurney versus Chris Dobey, and I mean, these are two players that I actually said in my last video, the way they've been playing this year, I honestly wouldn't have been shocked if they didn't make it through their first game and got beat by unseeded players. But to be fair, Gurney played very well. Chris Dobey was a bit mixed. It was after the year they both had. Gurney, I'm worried it was a bit of a one-off, to be honest. I hope it's not. I hope he's back for good. He's phenomenal to watch when he's on form like that. So I'm going to go Gurney there because Chris Dobey, although he won, he really struggled. He really made it look difficult. So Gurney to win there. But that whoever wants it more is going to win that one, and I just think that might be Gurney still. So yeah, that is going to be my predictions. I mean, it's going to be a long few days without the darts. I'm not going to lie, I've been enjoying it that much. But they resume on the 27th. I don't know when this video will be out, but I'll try and get out as soon as I can. And yeah, let me know what you think below. I mean, the comments, there was a good 10 plus double-digit comments there in the last darts video, and that's what this channel's all about. I want to hear kind of your guys' opinions, and want to have like kind of obviously friendly debates, of course. Absolutely the right way to go about with Dan Green. Yeah, that's what we want to see. So leave your comments, subscribe, like, and yeah, there'll be more previews and predictions to come in 20. We'll get some 2021 flowing quick and fast there. So yeah, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you later.